From Stigma to Support: Understanding Schizophrenia with Compassion. Paranoid schizophrenia, once classified as a distinct subtype of schizophrenia, is no longer officially recognized under that label in the DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, which is the standard used by mental health professionals in many countries. Instead, it is now understood as part of the broader diagnosis of schizophrenia spectrum disorder, with symptoms described individually, such as delusions, hallucinations, and disorganized thinking, rather than grouped into subtypes. This change reflects a more nuanced understanding of the illness, acknowledging that symptoms often overlap and evolve over time, rather than fitting neatly into one category. While the term paranoid schizophrenia is still widely used in public discussions, clinical professionals now focus on describing the specific symptom patterns of each individual. The following article uses the term paranoid schizophrenia to reflect common public understanding, but readers should be aware of its updated classification under current diagnostic guidelines. When stories of violent incidents involve mental illness, public discourse often turns toward diagnoses like schizophrenia, particularly paranoid schizophrenia. While these conversations are important, they often lack context, understanding, and empathy for the millions of people who live with this condition peacefully and without incident. This article seeks to clarify what paranoid schizophrenia is, how it affects people, and why understanding it matters, especially in fostering a more compassionate and informed society. What is paranoid schizophrenia? Paranoid schizophrenia is a form of schizophrenia characterized primarily by delusions, false beliefs, and auditory hallucinations, hearing voices, often accompanied by paranoia, unfounded fear that others are trying to harm or deceive the individual. People with this condition may appear distrustful, anxious, or isolated. But it's crucial to understand, these symptoms arise not from personality flaws, but from a deeply distressing neurological and psychological disorder. Common symptoms. While symptoms can vary greatly between individuals, common features of paranoid schizophrenia include delusions of persecution, believing others are plotting against them, auditory hallucinations, hearing voices that may be threatening, commanding, or critical, emotional withdrawal, reduced ability to express emotions or relate to others, cognitive difficulties, problems with concentration, memory, or decision-making. Notably, intelligence and creativity are not diminished. Many people with schizophrenia lead fulfilling lives, especially when they have access to proper support and treatment. What causes it? The causes of schizophrenia are complex and multifactorial. They include genetics. A family history of schizophrenia increases risk, though most people with the illness have no close relatives with it. Brain chemistry and structure. Imbalances in neurotransmitters like dopamine and subtle differences in brain structure may contribute. Environmental stressors, trauma, substance abuse, homelessness, and social isolation can exacerbate symptoms or trigger the onset in vulnerable individuals. It's important to emphasize that schizophrenia is not caused by bad parenting, personal weakness, or moral failings. Living with paranoid schizophrenia. Living with paranoid schizophrenia can be overwhelming. For the person affected, the world may feel unsafe or incomprehensible. Relationships may suffer, daily activities become challenging, and stigma adds to their burden. Yet with early diagnosis, proper medication, and psychosocial support, many people can manage symptoms and maintain a stable life. Treatment often includes antipsychotic medications, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, supportive psychotherapy, community support programs, stable housing and employment services. Recovery is not necessarily a cure, but it is about regaining control, building a meaningful life, and reconnecting with the world. A plea for understanding. When an individual with schizophrenia commits a violent act, it is tragic, but rare. Studies consistently show that people with schizophrenia are more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators. Unfortunately, media coverage often reinforces negative stereotypes that distort public perception. Blaming the illness alone ignores the larger picture: the failures in mental health systems, lack of early intervention, and the social isolation many endure. Compassionate care, not fear or punishment, is the most effective path to prevention. How can we help? Educate yourself and others about mental illness from credible sources. Speak up against stigma and harmful stereotypes. Support mental health initiatives, including access to affordable care. Listen with empathy to those who struggle with mental illness without judgment or assumptions. Final thoughts. Paranoid schizophrenia is not a headline or a horror story. It's a complex, deeply human condition that affects people of all backgrounds. Understanding it with sensitivity and compassion not only helps those directly impacted, but also strengthens the fabric of a caring, informed society. We owe it to our communities and to ourselves to replace fear with facts and judgment with empathy.